Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. So tonight, Taurus, we have the Queen of Cups. One of my favorite energies. Absolutely such a lovely emotional energy, right? So let's take a look and see what these tea leaves are going to tell us. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And also if you want to hit the like button or leave a comment. I read them all. I love hearing from each and every one of you, especially if you're new to the channel. Definitely say hello in the in the comment section. Okay. So we have, it looks like a person standing here. Okay, you can see the head, you can see the body, the legs. You can see a person standing over here. And between them there is a star. And we know that the star energy is kind of all about our goals, our aspirations, our, the things that we, stand outside, look up in the sky and we, tell the universe. We dream deeply, right? And so to see that between two people, it makes me think that you are in a situation where you have a companion who really has similar goals. And I don't know that it's always been like that. Maybe this is something that you have evolved into together. You've grown in this way. Or maybe that this is somebody who you kind of wished for, right? You maybe manifested. You put it out into the universe. I want somebody who I can be on the same page with. Somebody who has the same vision, right? It doesn't have to be every particular, right? But I think generally, right? You have the same probably, idea of how one might live successfully. And so I'm looking at this and I feel like if this is a case of you are right now in this moment, right? You're looking for this person, then I feel like this is something that could really be actualized. And if this is something that you already have, I feel like it's really a confirmation, but it is also kind of this, it's like a note of a recharge, right? Like a fire that is beginning to burn heavier and faster and, just roaring. And so I feel like you are coming into another cycle of really being quite close. And maybe it is that you are accomplishing one of your goals together. Maybe that's like moving in, finding a home together. Children, grandchildren, I don't know, paying some debt off, whatever it is, right? But I see you really, it feels like elation. It feels like, yes, I've worked really hard to get my life to this point. I have you know, it's not any mistake that I am where I am, right? And I'm sorry, I had to take a little sip of my of my water here. And I just feel like there's a feeling of things being really solid. I think you feel safe. Or you're getting to a place where, yes, you will feel safe. Not only in this relationship dynamic, but I think generally in life. And a lot of that, almost all of that, right, has to do with you. And that's, you know, you working hard. That's you really showing up for yourself. That is you prioritizing your well-being. Okay? So, I have to point this out. We have these letters up here. Right up here. And when I was looking at it, I thought, you know, it really kind of reads to me as, and now I know this one is kind of, it almost looks like an A maybe, but I think it looks like an E backwards, like a fancy capital E. And so F-E-B, we have B right here, and then O-N-E, 1, February 1. And when I saw this, I thought, my goodness, sometimes the letters really are very clear and you just know, okay, there's a word or a name coming through here. But this one is one of the more like apparent words or phrases, and in this case a date, right? And it's surprising. It is surprising to even me. And I do so many readings. I've seen a lot of weird stuff. So we have February 1. I want to write that down. I'm going to put it on my calendar to remember, because I want to know, what is February 1 going to be? What's going on? Now we also have the numbers 6 and 6. It looks like we have a bird here bringing a fish, you can see in its mouth right in here. But then over here we also have a little deer. You can see its head, its ears, maybe like a little fawn. We also have a person who is riding in, it looks like a covered wagon. Okay, so this is interesting. I do feel like there is going to be some kind of pilgrimage, some kind of travel, moving, a change, a fundamental change, okay? And on this journey, I see you really having some very kind of waking, just moments of feeling like you are so tuned in. Like I'm awake for the first time. It just absolutely seems so clear to me. And with the deer, this is a moment of spiritual encounter, okay? Not just kind of witnessing something. No, you are engaged with it. It is engaged with you. So I do feel like whatever maybe spiritual difficulties you've been having, and maybe it's kind of been waning, and it's not the connection, because we're always so very connected, but it's kind of perceiving the connection, right? We all go through these periods of time where we feel very distant from that part of ourselves. And it's easy to feel like maybe I've strayed too far away. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's all kind of made up. And all these things, I don't know. Maybe these are true. Maybe they're not. I'm not sure. But What I do know is that it's part of the natural cycles of things, for things to wax and wane. And when you're in that waning, it can feel so distant and foreign to us, right? But then we get these moments where, yeah, we're kind of swept back in, right? And it's undeniable that it speaks to that part of ourselves, that spiritual being that we are, right? And so I feel that on this trip that you are taking, and now maybe this is just a trip and you come back home, or maybe this is kind of I feel like it's a resorting of your life, because the covered wagon is, if you remember, like, well, I'm from Northern California, okay? So we learned a lot about the West, the western part of the United States, which is where a lot of people, the pilgrims and, you know, the pioneers or whatever, the occupiers, they moved across the country slowly in these covered wagons, and they went and they, you know, took land out there. And that was something I grew up hearing a lot about, right? I grew up very close to like where the gold rush started. And that's a town called Coloma. And so a lot of this kind of Western motif. But this is what they would throw all of their worldly possessions into, and their kids and their wife and everything else. And they would ride across into, you know, the unknown, right? The great mystery. And so I do feel like seeing this, there is some aspect of your life that is really in transition, changing intentionally. This isn't like, you know, all of a sudden the floor is, you know, disappearing out from under your feet. No, you've made a decision to change some aspect, okay? It is a spiritual journey. Everything is a spiritual journey, but this one, it really feels very overtly spiritual, okay? Now, we also have the bird that is carrying the fish. We also have fish over here. Money, okay? On this path, this change that you have been so courageous to make, I see you headed towards kind of your authentic work. And through this authentic work, I see the money starting to show up. Not because money is what we get in exchange for finding our true, you know, reason for being here. Often, no, this has no connection. But in this case, these are the resources you need to be able to continue this interior work. Because let's face it, if you're any kind of magical practitioner or religious, participant, or, you know, a spiritual being, somebody who studies the occult or, you know, religion, whatever it is, we all know we're not going to make a lot of money sitting around praying. And that's just the truth about it, right? A lot of us have to, you know, do other kinds of work. And I'm thinking about how beautiful it would be to make the it's very courageous to decide, right? Maybe you've been like, I don't know, working in an office, right, for years. And you find out, hey, I'm really interested in like Reiki, okay? And so you go and you study and you practice and you get very immersed in your abilities. And so you decide, yeah, I'm going to start taking on some clients, and it starts getting, you know, a little traction, and you're feeling pretty good about your work. And then it comes to a point where, am I going to take that big leap? right? Am I going to stay with this 9-to-5 job I have? Or am I going to, you know, put all of my effort into my own business, into this beautiful gift that I have? Well, now this is you know, obviously it's an individual case-by-case thing. But to be able to do the work that you know you were put here to do, and also be able to make a living doing that, that's one of the biggest blessings there is. I see in this that it's possible for you. Absolutely, I think it is. Now, I am a Virgo. So let me just tell you, I say all of this, but I also want you to be very, very thoughtful about making changes before, you know, you have everything in place. Do not, I'm not ever going to tell anybody, you know, just quit your job and whatever, you know, just kind of hope for the best. Excuse me, I needed another sip there. I'm a very practical person. So make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have it planned out and that you are sticking to it, okay? At least for a while, so that you know that you're not, you know, just going to, I don't know, you know, it's sometimes, it's amazing to me that I get anything done myself, right? I actually feel like I work better when I'm working for somebody else. Just because, I don't know, I like having a system. So I've gotten better at it now that, you know, I'm doing the channel and all this. It's taken time to figure it out, right? Over the last 1.5 2 years, however long it's been, it did not come naturally, okay? So it's just my little bit of advice. Whatever it is, if you're going into business, maybe you've had many businesses and you're like, Lenore, whatever, I've had so many businesses, you know, I'm fine, I know what I'm doing. Okay, well then, yes. But if it's your first time venturing out on your own like this, just take it slow, okay? That's all I have to say. Just take it slow. Make sure that you have a backup plan, at least at the beginning. Now, let's see. Oh, we have a flower. We have a rose or a I think a carnation maybe. And I'm thinking, it almost feels like it's white or pink, or almost, it's like a really light pink. And I want to I feel like it's a feminine energy from your family who transitioned a while ago, not a long time ago, but like maybe 5 years ago-ish, somewhere in there. Maybe give or take a little bit. And I want to see why they're coming through, because it is the only real thing on here. And it's prominent. So I feel like it's like they're really like, everybody else be quiet. I need them to see me, right? I'm getting in the front of the line here. I have a message to get through. So let's go ahead. I want to see, I'm going to use the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and we're going to just kind of see, what is this about? What is going on? All right, let's see. Let's see. We have companionship. Okay. Loss. Enthusiasm. Okay, so 3 more. Okay, so we have an affair, friendship, achievement. Okay, so I feel almost like this is a person in your life who maybe was married for, I don't know, most of their life, right? Probably at least a good amount of time. And I almost kind of feel like there is this message of kind of, I felt like I lost my identity within my marriage or relationship that they were in. And only when they were older and they either divorced or were widowed did they begin to find themselves again, right? It's like they were allotted this space to kind of reclaim themselves, okay? And I feel like there's kind of almost this feeling of, well, I almost feel like this is, I don't know, but I almost feel like they used to tell you don't ever get married. Don't ever get married. And then it literally feels like it's coming through more. You know, it's kind of like, yes, do the companion, have the friendship, have some affairs, you know, dalliances, but focus on your on the achievements in your life. Focus on the work, on your education, on, you know, finding something that is important and beloved to you, and focus on that, right? And I feel like this kind of, it rings through your head. Maybe not all the time. Maybe when you were younger, more. Yeah, more so. But I feel like, I feel like it's been coming up more often lately. And I wonder, you know, if it's kind of a time in your life where you maybe have been just kind of wanting to do things more on your own. I almost wonder if it's like your kids have gotten older and you don't have to be so involved, you know, like they're, you know, going to college, or they're married, or maybe like teenagers and they're just, you know, they come home, they eat and they sleep and then they are gone again, you know. But yeah, I feel like it's almost this time in your life where even if you are married and have a great relationship and all of that, you kind of just want to be, you know, whoever you are, not in relation to anybody else. And it feels like it's been a long time since maybe you even thought about it, you know? You've been busy. You get lost in all the stuff that we have to do. But I feel like this is a family member coming through. Just, it's almost kind of like they're just like validating your feelings, you know? That's what it feels like. They're validating how you feel. You're not alone in the way that you feel, you know? And like, that's always nice. It's nice to hear that somebody else is like, okay, I feel you. I hear you, you know? Now, let's do our lucky numbers. We're going to do 3 lucky numbers in my obnoxious 100-sided die we have here. And I'm just going to roll it. We have 51, okay, 86, 51, 86, and, oh no, not the bird, 18. Oh, nice. Yes, that seems like perfect numbers to go together, definitely. So I've been trying to do the lucky numbers every time for like the last, I don't know, week or so. And I just want any kind of input you have. Like, do you want me to do more numbers? No numbers? I don't know. I've talked to my husband over at, shout out to Paul over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. And I'm like, how many lucky numbers do I need to give? We settled on 3. So I don't know. But if you think I need to do more or whatever, you let me know. You just put it in the comment section. Okay, so we have the Inner Child Oracle. Okay, and this is just going to kind of punctuate the end of the reading, and we're just going to stop where it feels right. Seek guidance in this. It is time for a different perspective. It is time for a different perspective. Yes. I like these pictures. Look how pretty they are. Just gorgeous. All right, Taurus, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you want to leave a comment, go ahead and do that. I read them all. I'd love to hear from you. And I don't know. I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, it's almost Halloween. I keep trying to figure out what am I going to be. I saw that they have like onesies of the Mothman. And I think I'm going to be that maybe. I don't know. My daughter wants to be a zombie. She wanted to be the Terrifier at first. She's 4, by the way. Why does she know what that is? I don't know. Question mark. But yeah, I think she said zombie. The other day we went to one of those like Halloween Express places. And I'm like, oh, look at all the pretty, you know, dresses and like princess stuff. And she likes princess stuff and she wears a lot of different colors. She loves pink and purple and stuff. And she stops and she says, I don't want to be a princess, Mom. I want to be a monster. I was like, okay. All right, that's cool with me. Whatever you want, baby. So, I don't know. I'm interested in what everybody is doing for the variety of holidays that land in that kind of crossing through time, right? Halloween and all of the rest. And yeah, what are you gonna dress up as? I don't like dressing up as much, but I love singing costumes. Absolutely love it. So yes, anyhow, I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself. We're gonna talk in a few days. Good night. Good night. Good night.